Hey everyone. So Gumi actually fixed the Crumblier, and in that case they also changed the AI of the boss. Meaning my video I posted yesterday doesn't technically apply anymore that well. While I'm still going to use the same team I did use, I changed some minor things up such that everything falls into place. We're still super safe in terms of morale, but I've read from different people, since are included, that the boss actually does seem to use different actions depending on the type of tank. I can't confirm this. All I can say for me personally, the boss has become a lot easier with all things being the same basically. But apparently if you use Chow or Lilith, the boss does different things. So depending on what tank you're going for, your mileage may vary slightly. I can't confirm this. I will never use Lilith. I mean, I will also never use Ronda because I dislike Ronda as a whole. Doesn't do much, TBH. And yeah, I don't feel like Chow has any place here, but technically you can make him work, but I feel like Esther is she does pretty much all you need to do. All she needs to do. So yeah, the team, I'll just briefly go over this. So Tsukiko has no changes to yesterday, still same old, same old. Everybody is charm immune, though I probably don't need the death immunity, but the charm immunity is a must. So charm immunity is from Crescent Moon. There's also the Treasure Hunter from Logs, Adventure Logs TMR, which can help you, or being on Lakshmi also helps. The Brave Shift, still on Lightbreaker, which is the nice tech for the 130. Light Emperor, she's the only breaker unit, so it's on her sadly. Alright, next up, Esther base form is being used, but it is kind of important to have the Midnight Revelers card. It is the best Omnicover tank card if you're going for strict tanking cards. The one from Jacked, that is, and the free Dragon Quest Power Cut, I believe, card are better, but in terms of Omni tanking, which you do want on this fight, this card is slightly better. Brave Shift, still the same as yesterday. I did not make any changes. It's kind of important now to be actually at least 0 or 100, or no, 0 elf resistance is enough. As Sylvie does 200%, which is good. The boss imperils you by, I believe, 200. So, but we always gonna move that imperil anyway, and the imperil happens last, if I'm not mistaken. So, 0 or more is better. Same applies technically to dark. I don't feel like gearing for dark resistance. The damage is negligible, so it's fine. Next up is Discount Fina. She has the same gear, dual wielding, because she's on Sylvie's card. Death immune, charm resistance, has 1 stack of guts through a spoon, but that's about it. She's on Behemoth as well to summon the field, which I tend to forget most of the time, and that ruins runs. Sylvie, dual wielding in base form on Treasured Memorial, 600 initial boost of morale. It's also a status ailment buff on turn 1, which isn't that important. It's all about the morale. So yeah, that's the gearing. And Brave Shift, the same for mild DPS geared with some bulk added to it. So yeah, it's decent. Sky hasn't seen many changes, but one important one. So base form still the same as yesterday. Spirit. But she's on Wilk's card now because morale has gotten a little bit tighter. She's on Wilk's card, though wielding it in base form, even though it only applies for very few turns. It's still good enough. Brave Shift, she's now using the Ruler Celestite Regalia instead of the Chainmail, the light armor piece we've gotten. That's on Chizuru now. So this one will generate 100 morale throughout the fight for most of the time, and that's good. So in the process of changing these 2 pieces, she now only has 275 stone. It doesn't really differ that much in terms of damage. It's just potentially just a 1% damage loss. Kind of whatever, honestly. Alright, next up is Chizuru. Base form hasn't changed that much, other than that now she is on the chainmail of will. And the reason is that 700 morale initial boost. It's just once per fight at the beginning of the fight. And technically speaking, the clash pieces such as the Regalia, which is on Sky now, is better because over the span of 10 turns, that one generates 1000 morale. But it has, or the breaking point for the other clash pieces becoming better than this piece is turn 8. Because until turn 7, this one generated 750, whereas your average piece only generated 700. Meaning on turn 8, which we will surpass on this fight, the other pieces are superior, but by that point, we don't care about morale anymore. And this tremendously helps push morale into to our favor, or in our favor, such that we reach the 200% mark quicker. And that's why it's a superb piece of gear. And you'll have it. So that's the gear in base. Brave Shift, pretty much unchanged, with the exception of the chainmail, but the rest is the same. Alright, let's give this a go. And quickly in asterisk, because this is still a long clear with 10 turns. So as you can see, morale doesn't load up to 140 anymore. At the beginning of the fight, before anything happens. Alright, so Sylvie is going to Compassionate, Elemental, and Petal. Return Fina is going to Brilliant and Resolute Arrows. Sky is going to Shift and Limit. Let's do this first and send Sky. Alright, Cheese and Ubu is going to Eastern, Strong and Staunch. Shrine Maiden Tsukiko, Omamori, Prayer of Purification, Prayer of Protection. Let's boost that morale gauge. And Esther is going to Electromagnetic, Storm Guardian, and Shadowbolt. And set morale to 160. It certainly does. So on this turn, Esther is going to take a little bit damage, but it's not super much. Usually ends up at around about 30 to 35k HP at the end of all things, so that's still good in my book. Yeah, so as you can see, she did a lot less damage compared to yesterday because, like I mentioned, the boss's AI changed and the boss is a lot less dangerous now. Sky's LB gauge looking absolutely stellar, right? It allows me to fill more morale gauge. Which is good, which is very, very good. As you can see, we're pushing back morale just through auto buffing a lot. So what we always have to do, no matter the LB gauge of Sky's Paladins for the 5-stack Mirage, we only need one, but that's still good to have. Then we'll do Compassionate Knight and Elemental Vines, or Petals. Pick whichever you like. Let's do that. Send Chizuru is going to Stone Pulverizer for her own buff. Esther is going to Boundless Stasis, Shadowbolt, and Energizing Bunny. Okay, sound is back. I hate this PC. I really should start recording on my iPhone. Anyway, so Kiko is going to Prayer of Purification, Maiden's Consecration Light, and Purging Mandala Light. And Return Athena is just going to, whoops, Triple Resolute Arrow. Unless... Nope. Triple Resolute Arrow. 174, right? 176. Which is nice. So there's the AoE attack that can be covered for some reason, which is okay. We miraged it. And yeah, as you can see, turn 2 was super easy previously. The boss did pretty much nothing, and now he does lots, but none of them are really that dangerous, to be honest. Yeah, calm down, Esther. And that's just one Blizzard Orb, by the way. Okay. So on this turn, so he's going to chip it. And she's going to I've got your back onto Sky, and then we'll do double Paladin Strike for morale gain. Both Esther and Fina will Limit Burst, and will shift Tsukiko, who is going to Fox's Karma Solar. Meanwhile, Chizuru is going to Focused Spirit, Focused Body for high mitigation to physical and magical, and we'll do Breezy Barrier. So let's do Sylvie first. We go. And let's send the rest of the team in as well. And as you can see, we are at 200% morale, which is nice. So morale is not an issue. And instead of turn 2 on my previous run yesterday, now it's turn 3, which is very, very not dangerous. Alright, turn 4 is the summon Behemoth for an additional amp. We'll have Tsukiko do Lightbreaker. Sylvie is going to crack onto Sky, and she'll do Cheerful Paladin Strike and Clever Paladin Strike. But before we do anything, we'll have Esther do Boundless Stasis and double Shadow Bolt, such as mitigation for pretty much the remainder of the fight. Alright, we're gonna shift back Sky and Tywes' Spirit, as well as Chizuru, who's going to use the same. And let's have Sylvie do some buffing. Excellent. So we are pretty much ready to go. Boss does some attacks, but Esther takes pretty much no damage, so yeah, I could probably go with less. 30 damage, that's basically nothing, TBH. Now unfortunately we will not push the threshold on this turn, because as you can see we only dealt 1% of the boss's HP. That happens, but oh well. That's fine. Alright, so limit burst on... We are limit bursting with Sylvie beforehand though. We need that Sylvie amp. Fina is going to triple resolute arrow. Esther is going to shatter both times. And Tsukiko is going to Shining Karmic. Or Shining Comic. And yeah. We'll do some morale actions as well. Technically we don't need to, we just got big buffs, but yeah. Alright, so the way we're gonna do this, we send the left hand side and then the right hand side. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it. So, let's send Sky. I wasn't too fast, no I wasn't, all good. And then send in Chizuru. So we'll probably end up at, I don't know, 58, 51, which is fine. We still, oh yeah, 2.79, which is very nice. Esther still Omni covering, which is the important part here. She's gonna take a lot of damage regardless, but she should. The threshold though, that's gonna be a little bit trickier, but we do have a plan for that. And in this case, it's actually even good that we didn't push, because that allows us to basically cheese the threshold attack. And especially I can put Sky into a safe form, which is very nice. So she doesn't lose her stack from the AoE attack that's coming up. Alright, so Sylvie goes back to the base form, and what we're gonna do now is pretty much cheese the whole thing, like I mentioned. Burgeoning defense, elemental vines, and elemental paddles. So we now have huge general mitigation, we have 75% physical and magical mitigation, which is very, very good. We also have a good 15k HP barrier. So Kiko shifts to base, we need to rebuff. So Omamori, Prayer of Purification, and we don't need Prayer of Protection anymore. Actually we do, kind of. No, we don't. So that's worse mitigations, so we don't need that. But there isn't really much else to do, so I guess we can still... we also need to re-imbue ourselves, so Brilliant Veil would do Wild Lotus do for automatic re-raise and 1 stack of that one. The Resolute Arrow, that is. Sky into the base form for Sharp Spear Focus and Double Skyfall. And Chizuru is going to Devastating Slash. And Esther is going to... I believe I need to refresh on this turn. Let's see. Everything's lasting 1 more turn. And I don't see Omnicover, so we're gonna Omnicover. Which is fine, we do have an action list for that. Okay, so let's send in Sky. And then Chizuru. And that pushes the boss 49 or below 50. So here's the threshold. If you're lucky, Esther survives. Maybe she will. Let's see. She died on my last attempt. Oh, yeah, she survived. Easy. That burgeoning defense, I'm telling you. That's really something else. Alright, so we do have a couple of turns now to do some damage, which is nice. The boss has very huge mitigation, but we're still gonna burst regardless here. For the hell of it, basically. So let's shift Sylvie. We do have 2 burst phases on turn 7 and turn 9, which is okay. So Cracked Stone onto Sky. And we'll do Clever Paladin Strike. I need the LB gauge, especially on Sylvie. Tsukiko can do, let's see. Prayer of Purification. She can do that twice actually. And Consecration Light. Fina is going to Limit Burst. And Esther, let's see how far her mitigations are coming along. Reduces physical damage from demons, stone, and reapers. 2 more turns, so we can refresh it next turn. Technically, I can refresh it right now. That's even better. Lasts for the remainder of the fight. So, Boundless Stasis, Shadow Bolt, and Energizing Bunny. More damage for Sky and Cheese. Ooh. Calm down. We can also do, I just realized, some more buffing. Alright, and then we'll send in these 2. Now first hit Sky is going to not hit into any chain whatsoever, whatever. 38%, very good. And that's, yeah, pretty much all there is to this boss. There is not much happening else. Nothing else really happening in this fight. We are obviously stat broken, but as you can see, Esther does it all. Granted, it's still bargaining defense time, but yeah. And even beyond that, it's just Esther having her type mitigation from her skill. It's all very huge. Okay. So let's unshift Sylvie. We'll do Paladin's defense. We need some Mirage stacks. We'll do Compassionate Knight. 2 breaks. We'll do Elemental Vines. Oh my god, this game. Or this computer, whatever it is. It's going to Solar Flare 3 times. Esther going to do... How long does Omnicover last? If it lasts... It should last one more turn, right? Yeah. So I'll Omnicover right now. It's a decent turn to do so. And I'll chain it up with Fina. And how long does Sharp Spear last? It's right. Yeah, so this lasts for the remainder of the fight. Very nice. So I can do triple Skyfall. Chizuru is in her base form. Eastern Winds, Staunch, Samurai. And actually, I don't care. Or do I care about the Imperil? No, I do care about the Imperil, so I'll do all these buffs. We do have 5 stacks Mirage. Yeah. So we'll do Staunch. Or Breezy? No, Staunch is fine. I'm sorry for taking so long. We got the Katana Emperor back up, which is good. Alright, let's also do some more damage here, which is very minimal, but still. Oh, I dealt 3%. Not too shabby. So there's one attack, or AoE attack, which we miraged, which is... And by the way, just so you know, barging defense has worn off by this point. We are still not taking any damage, so yeah. And more absolutely stellar as well. But keep in mind, we still need to do our 100 chain score. We'll get to it in a moment. AKA next turn. Okay, so... Oh, whoops, I'm not shifting Sky. Sky is going to tie with the spirit, as is Chizuru. So let's do that. Sylvie will shift. And she's going to Cracked Stone onto Sky. And we'll do Cheerful and Clever. Actually, even though there's absolutely no reason to. But I guess it's fine anyway. Fina will... There's not much to do for Fina TBH. So she can just refresh the Imbue, just for safety measure. And Esther can... There's not much to do for Esther as well. Just triple Shadow Bolt to hit the boss. And Tsukiko is going to refresh Lightbreaker. Hello? Oh, wrong buttons. These are the wrong... Alright, final turn. Alright. So Sylvie, limit bursts for the LB amp. And we'll do the last piece of it. Shining Karmic. Nope, I can't. Too bad. Could have hoped for Esther's LB, but whatever. So we're gonna triple bolting on all accounts. We'll do more stat buffs. Those don't matter one bit though. And that's pretty much all she wrote. And this is the end of the fight. There comes Sky. It is again. Sky 750 million. There we go. I didn't check the chain count score, but it was enough. And yeah. Re-rank 1, basically. And apologies for the laggy experience. So there it is. Sky and Chizuru now pretty close in terms of damage. What piece of equipment does, right? And a little bit less killers. Yeah, fantastic. And that's pretty much the end of the video. I showed you guys the gear already, so yeah. Out. See you tomorrow for my Lilith review. Bye bye.